How's it going, YouTube? I'm recording this video at a ridiculous time. It's like 4:40 in the morning on Friday, January the 2nd, 2026. But I figure I wanted to be like one of the first people on YouTube to give you this report about something I found out, because it's like a lot of people, a lot of wrestling fans like myself, we were so disappointed about seeing all the WWE library content being deleted off Peacock at the end of December of 2025. But surprisingly, in a shocker, because it hasn't been officially announced by WWE, but it may very well be on tonight's 3-hour episode of SmackDown, because unfortunately, tonight the SmackDown is going back to a 3-hour format, it looks like, for the next, at least the next 6 months, just like it was last year, 6 hours or 3 hours for the first 6 months of the year, and then back to a 2-hour format for the last 6 months of the year. But tonight it's going to be on a 3-hour format, so they may talk about it there, but I'm not sure. They should talk about it. But anyway, I happen to be logged on to my Netflix account on my desktop computer, and nothing's been officially announced about this yet, but surprisingly, I saw that a huge amount of the content from the WWE library that was on Peacock has been transferred over to the Netflix library in the United States. I'm not saying this is the way it is in Europe or other countries, but I'm in the United States, and this is the way it is in the United States on the US version of Netflix. Anyway, I went on to Netflix tonight, and much to my surprise, there was a massive amount of that stuff was moved over there. I was surprised. I went on there. I was adding it up. I was writing it down. What from the WWE library had been moved over to Netflix. And I was shocked to see that, this is the way it was when I was writing it down. I actually found 453 pay-per-views and premium live events of WWE had been transferred over to the Netflix, streaming site in the United States, just today. I mean, and that's shocking because, when, Netflix acquired the rights to WWE Raw, man, people got screwed. At least in the United States they did, because, they hardly transferred any of that stuff over there. I mean, now Netflix transferred the WWE Raw episodes from 2022 to the present over there, but they really didn't. The overwhelming majority of the stuff from 1993 all the way till 2021, hardly any of that stuff got moved over there. I mean, for instance, say the 1993 episodes of WWE Raw, they only moved 5 episodes over there. And they only moved 4 episodes of WWE Raw from 1994 got moved over there. And they only moved 7 episodes of WWE Raw, from 1995 over to Netflix, in the United States anyway. It was ridiculous. I mean, we got so damn screwed. And then it was the United States version of Netflix, it's they didn't put, what was it, from 2002 through 2021 on the United States version of Netflix, they didn't put any of those WWE Raw episodes on there. I was like, what the freaking hell is this? What? I mean, we got screwed here, But I was so shocked. I was actually really impressed at the job WWE did when they moved 453 pay-per-views and premium live events from their site, over from the Peacock library over to the Netflix library. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they did such a nice job of that. Holy freaking cow. Maybe there actually is some hope that they're going to move all those episodes of WWE Raw over there. I'm not going to hold my breath on it, but, maybe there is a little bit of a, maybe there's a little bit of a hope for that, But anyway, I wanted to let you know there's now, at least when I looked on it, there's 453 premium, pay-per-views and premium live events from WWE. They had been all moved over to Netflix, so that's a freaking shocker. So at least it hasn't been officially announced, but I'm thinking SmackDown's going to announce it tonight. And it looks like as of right now, on Peacock TV, on their streaming sites, they're going to keep all the episodes of WWE SmackDown. The NXT premium live events, they're going to remain on Peacock TV. And also all the episodes of WWF and WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, they're all staying on there on Peacock television. But let's see what else we got to talk about tonight. Another thing I wanted to say was, like, okay, with WWE, the library on Peacock TV, like, they're also seem like they're slowly transferring a lot of that to the YouTube website. And I mean, that's a good thing. They've very slowly been transferring old episodes of NXT that they deleted off Peacock TV over to YouTube's website. They started doing that, like in February of, in February 2025, they very slowly started, like moving all that stuff over, moving all the NXT episodes over to their own WWE's YouTube channel. And what they did so far, let's see, what the heck was it? All those episodes of, like, say, I don't know when it started. It was like maybe the middle of 2012. They've been slowly moving all those NXT episodes, from like the mid 2012, and right now they're up to I think I don't know, like October of 2019. Well, they're up to that. They're moving all those NXT episodes over to the WWE's NXT like YouTube channel. So that's where they're up to right now. Now, I know also in addition to that, WWE, they also have on Tubi, they have an NXT channel as well, but I don't particularly like Tubi because they don't have a commercial-free version of the streaming site that you can subscribe to. It's just, you have to deal with all the commercials, and it's like every 8 to 10 minutes you got to deal with all the commercials. I deal with the Tubi streaming service because I like to watch WWE Evolve each week, because I like to see, like, the new up-and-coming wrestlers, from WWE Evolve. I mean, I've always been a big fan of seeing, like, the newer up-and-coming wrestlers, so I deal with the commercials. Don't want to deal with the commercials, but I do it anyway. But if there was if Tubi had a paid version of their website, I would subscribe to that, because I get tired of all the freaking commercials on there. But I will deal with it because I like to see those new up and coming wrestlers on WWE Evolve. I like to see how they get into the WWE system and how they get better over time or whatever. I've always been a big fan of that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people, most people I know personally, they're like, they don't give a crap about that kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, why you want to watch that crap? But hey, I've always been a big fan of seeing, like, the new up and coming wrestlers. So I enjoy it. I mean, I like WWE Evolve a lot better than like WWE NXT Level Up, which was like the show that like was on before Evolve was on there. It was kind of like the same thing. But Evolve is better than NXT Level Up because they have more matches. That's the way I see it. Anyway, it looks like right now Peacock Television keeping all those SmackDown episodes on there. The NXT PLEs, WWE Saturday Night's Main Event is being kept on there. But let's see, what the heck else was I going to talk about on there? Oh, I also wanted to talk about a lot of episodes of WCW. If you haven't seen it yet, you may want to check this out. WWE also has their own YouTube channel devoted towards WCW. I don't know if you've seen that. That was something that they set up in 2025. And that's good because, like, now that they deleted all those episodes of NWA World Championship Wrestling, which really freaking sucks, but at least you can still see a lot of those episodes of NWA World Championship Wrestling on there. Now, as of right now, they've been... What the heck do they have on there? They have the episodes on there from November 2nd, 1985 through November 29th, 1986. But even there's still some episodes that they've missed that I don't think they missed in the past when they had those episodes up on you remember like back when they had WWE 24/7 Classics on Demand? Yeah. I used to go out of my way. I would like record those episodes on the DVDs when they had that streaming service on there. But it looks like there's episodes they missed on there. And what the heck else we got? They also that WWE's WCW YouTube channel. It's not that great because on the surface you might think, oh, that's pretty good that they have that, but actually it's not that great because like they only have like sporadic episodes of Nitro and sporadic episodes of Thunder, unfortunately. Because it seems like, from what I've heard, the reason why they're skipping so many episodes is like, now with the YouTube's terms of service, now, for obvious reasons, I can understand why YouTube would want to do this. They say, if there's any episode of WCW, if it has, Chris Benoit on it, I mean, we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it on our platform. And I can perfectly understand that. Yeah, I mean, no problem. I understand why they would say that. For obvious reasons. But the thing is, it's like, now Peacock still had all the episodes on there and stuff. I wish YouTube would say, all right, okay, we understand. We don't want Chris Benoit on our channel. Just delete out the portion of WCW Thunder, delete out the portion of WCW Nitro that had him on it, and just like, we can put it on there, but just don't include the part that had him on it. I can perfectly understand if they said that. But it's ridiculous that, WWE, they can't put up on YouTube if that guy was on it, they're not allowed to put up the entire episode of the show. That sucks. There was so much great, wrestling on WCW Nitro and WCW Thunder. They should just delete the part that has Benoit on it and just put up the rest of the episode. But it doesn't seem like they're doing that. They're saying, if that guy's on the episode, we don't want any of that episode on there. That's what freaking sucks. And WCW, they were probably always my absolute very most favorite, wrestling company and stuff, I am still mad 24 years later about them going out of business in March of 2001. I'm still mad about that. They were always my favorite wrestling company. There was so much variety. It was crazy. Unlike WWE, where it was like the same old crap every week, they had such an extensive roster. So many different styles of wrestling. It was just unbelievable. It was such a loss to the wrestling world. And then once WCW went out of business in March of 2001, it seemed like WWE they just seemed like they didn't care anymore. It's like, well, our main competition is gone. We don't have to give a crap anymore. We can just give people the same old crap every week, So, oh my God. So that's the way it is right now. So it just sucks when you go on, WWE's, WCW YouTube channel, and you go on there and you see like, how was it? Let me just see. I wrote some of this down for you. So let's see. Now, Nitro on WWE's WCW channel, they were trying to upload it in kind of in sequence, and they started with the very first episode of the September 4th, 1995 episode. The very first episode of WCW Nitro, okay? And they have it up to now. Now, the last episode they uploaded that I've seen has been January 11th, 1999. And so from 1995 through 1999, they've only uploaded 46 episodes because they say we don't want all those other freaking episodes because Benoit was on there. Okay, fine. I understand that, but, why screw all the fans out of all that great content? Just eliminate the part that had freaking Benoit on it. That's all you gotta do, Then what do we have here? Thunder. They started off on WWE's WCW channel. Okay, the very first episode, January 8th, 1998. That was when That channel was on there. Okay, now they started off with that. And now, the last episode that they put on that channel was from January 31st, 2001. So, from freaking January 1998 all the way through January 2001, they've only uploaded 46 episodes because they said, we don't want anything with that freaking psycho on it. If he's on it, if he's on it for a 1 minute interview, we don't want him on there. I mean, yeah, I could see them not saying don't put him on there. They should just, delete that footage of on there. I mean, put the rest of the show on there. For God's sake! The freaking hell is this? Is that too much to freaking ask? Apparently it is. But I will say, the WCW YouTube channel, I mean, what does it have? They have put on their 39 full-length pay-per-views of WCW, and they're just randomly thrown on there. And they also put 14 random episodes of WCW what is this? They've also put, the Clash of the Champions they put on there and stuff. But, I mean, they got to get away from this shit saying, okay, well, if Benoit's on there, don't put any of that episode on there. Don't punish all those other wrestlers that had great matches on those episodes all because of one freaking psychopath. Don't do that. That's not right, I mean, for God's sake, you think about WCW television, the weekly television, all the great matches that we saw, especially those cruiserweight wrestlers. Oh my God. I mean, especially the cruiserweight wrestlers from Mexico, like La Parca, Juventud Guerrera, Psychosis. I mean, for God's sake, you tell me you can't have those episodes on there all because of one freaking person? That's bullshit! So, anyway, hopefully they'll eventually be able to do something with that eventually. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that all those pay-per-views, all those premium live events, all those pay-per-views from WWE, have been put on to Netflix in the United States. I don't know what's been going on with Europe, but in the United States, it's happening. Man, and maybe they'll put even more on there. I don't know. Now, I had read a report that said that Netflix had the WWE WrestlePalooza from September 20th, 2025 on Netflix. Now, when I went on Netflix, I did not see that, but maybe that's something that they intend to put on there, and they haven't got, because it seemed like I was on Netflix tonight, and it's like, I'd be on there, and I'd be seeing all this stuff, and then as I was writing it down, like what was on there and stuff. That's how I came up with that figure of 453 pay-per-views and premium live events. They kept just putting more and more stuff on while it was on there. I was like, oh my God, wow, they really haven't, screwed us over really in the end. This is great. I'm glad to see this, but we don't know what's going on with all these other weekly shows. Like, what's going on with ECW? What's going on with those weekly episodes of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling? We don't know. And that's the thing. That's the problem with YouTube. They're like, they have in their terms of service, they say, we do not want wrestling. We do not want episodes that have any kind of blading in it. And ECW was all about the blading. They had that. They were always putting that on there. So YouTube probably is not going to want an ECW channel on YouTube. They're probably not going to want that on there, And that's probably why we see a lot of these episodes of like WCW Nitro, WCW Thunder. In addition to, if they say, well, Benoit's on it, we don't want it. That's probably another reason why you don't see a lot of these episodes. Probably a lot of these, even the NXT channel. They don't have every episode on there. You'd hope they have every episode on there, but I saw at one point, I don't know if it was like 2013 or what, there was something like 3 episodes missing in a row. Maybe because they had, maybe they did blading or something like that to try to make the match more interesting. And, maybe YouTube said, we don't want that on our platform. I'm sorry. If you got that kind of garbage on your platform, we don't want it. So maybe that's what happened. So you know, it's not as thorough. It's not the NXT channel on YouTube is not as thorough as we would like. Although it's got most of the episodes are for one. It's like, why in the world am I seeing like 3 episodes in a row from 2013 that aren't even on here? No, what the freaking hell is this? You know. So I think that WWE they need to find some other platform where where we could do a more thorough, version of all this stuff, So we don't want all this content to be on a platform that says, if there's any blading, we don't want it. Well, we don't want that shit. No, I'm kidding. Come on. I mean, you can't have that. You want to see, I'm the kind of person, I'm very thorough. I want to see the full, complete version of the show and everything, how it originally aired. That's the way I want to see it, So hopefully maybe WWE will find another platform that will put on the full, complete version of the weekly television episode or the weekly paper or that monthly pay-per-view, whatever company they're trying to air. Hopefully they'll be able to do this. I'm trying to think, if there was anything else I wanted to say before I logged off of here. Maybe I should just mention, okay, now, WWE's Tubi platform, they have seasons like 16, 17, 18, and 19. But I don't particularly like Tubi because, all the freaking commercials. If they had like, say, maybe a commercial-free subscription service I could pay like $10 a month for, I'd be fine with that. But the fact that they don't, I deal with it for WWE Evolve. But other than that, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing on SmackDown tonight, on their 3-hour episode from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., they may talk about this more. But hey, I just wanted to be one of the first people on YouTube to tell you that at least, to my knowledge, 453 of their pay-per-views and PLEs have been brought on there and stuff. And because I don't know, I'm sorry, but I'm a hardcore fan and stuff. I still got all my old freaking wrestling action figures. I still got my old freaking, action figures of freaking, Funaki and, hey, Special Delivery Jones. Gotta have that. You gotta have, I'm sorry. But, hey, Bret Hart and friggin' Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Got all that stuff. Hey, how about Too Cold Scorpio, Flash Funk from WWE? Come on, Bam Bam Bigelow. I'm sorry, but I figure, I'm just a fan of this kind of stuff, so I want to get this content out to you. How about this? Kamala the Ugandan Giant. I figure I should probably make a YouTube video about the action figures, because a lot of these action figures, I bet people probably are like, I didn't even know they made action figures in WWE and NWA and all about these people. Check this out. Here we got Jim Ross. We got the official Jim Ross action figure, and we got freaking, oh my god, what did we got here? Ric Flair from back in 1985. That's the official Ric Flair action figure, 1985. And then here we go. Not just that, here you got Special Delivery Jones. He actually had 2 action figures here. I figure I should put a freaking, a video about this on there.